I think you should hear this.
Awesome. Well, Cameron Emett, welcome to I Think You Should Hear This, the podcast exploring people's journeys of growth, adversity, and self-discovery. Thanks for joining me today. It's funny how this conversation came about and how, we're both in the men's space wanting to do work with men. I thought originally our paths crossed just at a workshop I did a few months ago, but it turns out, you messaged me a couple of weeks ago and we met earlier. I'd love to start at esoteric and then roll from there. If you want to relay how that memory came about.
Dude, I don't even know how that memory came about. I was not thinking about the workshop. I was not thinking about esoteric. I was in the kitchen, just minding my own business, cooking some food. And then all of a sudden I was like, I met this dude at esoteric a year before I met him at the workshop. Like that workshop, I wasn't thinking about. I didn't recognize you at that synergy thing with Mila. I didn't, nothing was in my periphery at all at that time. I was taken back to the massage space at ESO. I just remembered a dude with a shitload of dreadlocks and tattoos. And I was like, holy cow, I've met him before. But I would message you and I was like, dude, you were at ESO last year. And you were like, yeah. Were you at the healing space? You're like, yeah. What healing did you get? You're like, Maya. I was like, bro, that was me, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember, you go, you wait, you book in, and you were replacing someone else. So we weren't even meant to meet.
Yeah.
Well, we obviously were, but, something put you in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I was only going to do one massage. Like my friend, she was doing Reiki for me and then her therapist didn't show up. So I just told her there's a table, I'll do your treatment for you. And she was like, all right, well, I'll go and tell the organizers. And then the organizers came back and said, well, you're going to do the whole shift for us. It's so nice. Thank you so much. And I was like, well, may as well. It's what I do. I like doing it. People get good responses out of it. And it's got a nice day. It was a nice day for it. I had my clearing. I felt like I was in a very centered place to serve the people, whoever came through. And I thought, let's do it. And then, had some pretty cool interactions and you were one of them, and then here we are. So there you go.
Yeah, crazy. 18 months later, ESO doesn't even run anymore.
Yep.
Crazy time. What attracted you to that event to go and even to offer that?
Straight into the heavy questions, hey, man. The esoteric. Yeah, ESO was I didn't know if I was going to go. I didn't get a ticket. I didn't buy a ticket to it. I was kind of talking to people about it and I was like, okay, I'm not sure if this is I'd come back from South America. I'd been doing some pretty crazy experiences over there. And I was like, I don't know if I'm even supposed to be in the festival scene. I don't know if I'm supposed to, be putting my energy towards it. So I just kind of put the message out there. I was like, if this is something that I'm supposed to do, put it out for me, get me the ticket. And about a week before it, a mate of mine messaged me up. He's like, dude, if you want to go to this, we've got a ticket. We just need help come and be a part of the build site. And I was still unsure. I was like, bro, I'll come and help and I'll have a chat with you and, let's catch up. But I'm still not sure. And I went and I met some of the guys and I just felt out about it. And a couple of days after we built it, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. And I went and I got there. And it was pretty hectic. I was pretty unsure of myself. And I ended up taking my campsite. I just parked in the middle of a field, empty. No one was around me. The first person that came through, somebody that I met in Mexico, she brought her whole crew. And then the next people that came through were friends of one of my really old best mates. And then I had my container and I had my safety and I had my circle. And from there, I was just like, okay, completely open to whatever happens and receptive and willing to accept whatever it is that needs to happen at this festival. And that's why I go to festivals. I go because it's such a big question mark. It's such a big unknown. I have no idea what's going to happen, but it always surprises me. And that's what I love about it.
What was the biggest surprise you had from that weekend?
I felt safe.
Yeah. Why did you think that you wouldn't?
Yeah. I didn't think that I would because I have a history with some people there. And it's not that I didn't feel safe. It's just I wasn't sure if I was like, I wasn't sure if I was like even, I didn't feel safe, man. I didn't feel safe going to the door. I was like, there's people here I don't know, but I fucked up pretty bad in the past and I made some mistakes and I just, I didn't know if I would be welcome. I didn't know how I would be received. I didn't know what would happen. And that's why it was a big thing for me to just get my own campsite, see the people around me, were people that I knew, people that I felt safe with. And as the anxiety of those first few days eased off, I started to soften. Like I had like this kind of, like my face gets kind of scrunched up and I'm like, kind of don't really come near me. Like don't, keep your distance sort of thing. Got my armor on and that started to soften. I started to relax. My shoulders started to drop. My breathing started to drop and I felt like I could be myself again. Felt safe to be myself. Does this make sense?
Yeah. Did any of those scenarios that you had in your head leading up to it play out?
Nah.
Did you, yeah, as always, did you end up like seeing any of those people then that you expected you might?
Yeah, I stayed away from the places where I thought I might find them for the most part. But the festival ended on like was it the Monday?
Tuesday?
I think. Yeah. Yeah. Or like the day after the last day, I was part of like the pack and I saw some of the people there.
Yeah.
And it was pretty like, well, it definitely wasn't comfortable, but I also felt like it was an intrinsic part of life for my life. And what I needed to do was to see them and to be seen by them and to just let whatever it was that was to come up, just let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like you needed to like close a circle there or something.
Definitely. Yeah. Cycles upon cycles, man. And yeah, that was definitely a pivotal part for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. I think like obviously it's in the past now, but so many people have things that they avoid at all costs because it's uncomfortable. But the more you run, it's like a shadow. It's always going to be there until you just face it. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I spent so much time running that it was like, yeah, I mean, the shadow was getting longer and it was getting heavier. And I
Mm.
was kind of like in my little bubble down here on the peninsula, just trying to get by doing like work and things. But it was just, there was always the monkey on my shoulder.
Yeah. So yeah, awesome.
What were you
Covered out.
doing, Derek, bro?
What was I doing there? Bro, sleeping. It was so hot. All I did was just go from workshop to workshop, from sound healing to breath work, and I just lie there in 43-degree heat and just like nap. Basically, that was about it. Like that's my first time going to ESO sober, so I got to experience a lot more of the festival and like a different side. Like I'd been to one workshop in the previous like 3 years that I'd been. And that was like a pottery one and I like made a tennis ball. I literally just rolled up clay and like made a bowl, like had no creative or cognitive function left. And so to go sober, I get to experience all the other different ones, like went to a drawing workshop and yeah, just explored different things and really enjoyed that. Like I went to Sacred Raving and did that,
Oh, cool.
met Jade and yeah, and Jess, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a different person. But yeah, met Jess, met a few like other awesome people there and just, yeah, had a completely different experience. Like still hit the dance floor and stuff, but was in bed at a respectable time and was up at a good enough time to go out and explore other stuff. So yeah.
That's cool, man. I actually connected with Jess and Sacred Raving at Interstellar Groove.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it because I saw that you posted the other day. I was like, oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I think, especially after this last weekend at Strawberry, it
Yeah.
it has to be something that I do because it's too hectic, man. It's too hectic.
Yeah.
Like I was going through this thing at Esoteric and I took LSD one night and I could
Mm.
see this guy. I could just see him in everyone that I fucking met. And it was like, I just went back to my tent one night to try and like get away from it. But of course he's just in my fucking head there with me. And
Mm.
I just couldn't get away, bro. And I think like I don't know. I think I found freedom in a lot of festivals in the past, and I don't think I find freedom in festivals anymore. So something has to change.
Mm.
So I think it's really cool that you were going to do it and you actually went sober and making tennis balls and doing pottery, and didn't even know there was pottery at Esoteric, man. I knew there was breathwork and yoga, but pottery? That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, they got everything. Yeah, that was like the start of it was 2024 I went to that. I went to Strawberry Sober as well in 2023. And that was another interesting one. I just went solo as well. So that was like just an opportunity to stretch myself, like go, drive to New South Wales solo, pull up at a campsite, meet some people, ask for help as well to set up because I've got like a gazebo and that's set up. I like forgot a hammer. I was like, hey guys, I actually need like 4 people. Can I have some help? So that was a cool opportunity to do that and just go explore, another side of the festival. Did plenty of workshops there, met some cool people, like did the breathwork and ice baths there and connected with Mark, the guy who runs that. So yeah, that was really cool as well. Only shit thing was like not having reception. So the people you meet, these days is Instagram. Just meet them for that thing. And now it's just if I run into them again, I run into them again, but there's no online connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find that
Or they
yeah.
I was just say, or they all message you and go, oh yeah, we actually met
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
Hey, the world has a way.
Yeah.
Do you ever find like Strawberry's a big festival, like there's 15,000 people or something, but you have
Yeah.
like a knack of running into the same people?
I ran into people from Frankston
Yeah.
and said g'day, and then I ran into another guy that I played footy with in the northern suburbs. Yeah, and I guess I didn't really run into people that I'd met at the festival multiple times. I only would meet someone once and then not see them again. But I usually do. I do usually like energy attracts, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find that at Strawberry, like camping pretty rogue by yourself and eating a hammer, did you find that you made crew like in your campsite?
No, I was pretty solitary. Like I camped, so there was no I got there on the Friday at about 2 in the arvo, and there was no campsite. I drove around for an hour trying to find a campsite. Ended up pulling into the the wellness crew area. Like I just lifted the thing up, parked my car in there, and there was some young people behind me, and we was like, we're just going here. There's some space. Like let's go. And so I chatted with them, and they were like 20. Chatted with them a bit. That was about it. Like I just chilled out, sat by the river for hours, chilled at my campsite for a bit if I needed a break. Yeah, it was just a moment, a few days to disconnect because there's no social media, no internet, and just hang out. Good weather. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go back. I want to talk about what got you on this path. So as we were mentioning before we were recording, I love this podcast is about people's journeys and, most particularly hero's journey. Most of us who are on a path of healing, self-development, all that sort of thing, there's usually a moment in time that forces you on that path. It doesn't come with ease. You're pushed there. Like there's something that goes wrong or isn't quite right that forces you to change. Was there a moment that you felt that push?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a push. It was more of I got punched in the face. And that was like the best thing ever. Like it sucked. It fucking sucked. It was the most difficult time of my life, but it was also like the time where it was like, there was just no forgetting that. There was no putting that to the side. There was no ignoring that. I had to really go through that. And that was at the start of 2020. And then COVID came in and lockdown came in. And then it was like, okay, cool. Well, can't leave the house, can't see friends, can't do anything. Now I just have to sit here and sit with this. Right. I got an exemption to leave Australia. I applied. I didn't think I was going to get it. Within half an hour, I got it. And then I took it. And yeah, I left the country and I was gone for nearly 3 years and I was in South America. And I followed what I felt was that I needed to do. I wasn't in cities or anything like that. I wasn't in clubs. I wasn't trying to get into crazy social environments in the middle of that. It was more of, I just need space and I need nature and I need to really be as far by myself as I can. Like I found permaculture farms and cacao farms and like little surf hostels in the middle of nowhere, little mountain towns with small amounts of people. And I was able to let life happen in a way that slowly gave me the pieces that I needed to put together the puzzle to see what it was that was going on for me that had caused all this stuff in the past to happen, and who I needed to become to elevate myself above that, to become a different person to that. And I met a lot of people. I met like a lot of people, how we kind of found each other. I found a lot of people overseas as well to give me different aspects of things in terms of like ancient histories and plant medicines and ceremonial practices and how to actually find forgiveness and how to move on through things and how to find yeah. So I was gone for nearly 3 years, and the message became pretty clear after 3 years that I needed to return home and face my life again and face my past again. And that's why like I got home and pretty cleanly after that. And that's why I started to rejoin the festival scene. That's why I started to just see what it was that had changed in the time that I had been gone. Yeah.
Are you open to diving in a bit deeper into what the punch in the face was?
Yeah. Yeah, I've put it out there. I don't like the idea of like always rehashing pasts and stuff like that. And yeah. So
Just so the people can get an understanding of where you're coming from with that. Because I think that there's so much power in sharing your story, because people think that they're going through the hardest thing anyone's ever experienced. And unless you hear someone else's story, then it gives you some sort of like if they can get through that, then I can get through what I'm getting through, because we're all the center of our own universe, I feel.
yeah, that's a fair point. Okay, cool. So I met a girl and straight away I was head over heels. I felt like I had a connection and I would have done anything for her. And she had a boyfriend. Yeah, she cheated. And I gave her everything that she needed to do what she needed to do. She was telling me things. She was telling me that like she didn't want to be with him and that like she felt something with me, and I kind of took that as like she needs help, right? I was trying to like fucking save her and shit, but then it just got deeper and deeper and wasn't extracting herself from the situation. All of a sudden I was being pulled in and I went to this guy's house. I went to his fucking house. I'm a myo, right? And they're like, oh, Cam does massage. He can do massages for us. So I was doing body work on him and his mates. I was making money. Yeah. I was going to their parties. I was going to their festivals. I had some of the best nights out of my life with them and their crew. And I met so many people. So when I go to a festival, I'm like, I'm going to see these fucking people. And I do. And that's why it's such a thing of, I'm going to get fucking bashed. And I wouldn't even be able to like fight back because I felt like I deserved it. Right. Like the day he punched me was like, I didn't defend myself. I didn't say, don't do that. I was like, yeah, I deserve this. And if he had stood over me and like beaten me up even more, I don't know if I would have defended myself. So that was the level of self-disgust and self-hatred that I had for myself at that point. Yeah, that was pretty much why I needed to get the fuck out, because lockdown came in and I could just like see him out of the corner of my eye. And like the day he punched me, I could just like, I could see him and I could like smell him. And it was like his scent was just there forever. And so when I was at Esoteric and I took a tab, he was just with me and he was like, you having fun, Cam? Yeah. Was this what you thought it was going to be, Cam? And I was just like, how the fuck do I get my self-respect back? How do I get my honor back? And that's what was going on for me. So I came back and I did like all the plant medicines and all the circles and all the authentic relatings and all the sweat lodges and temescalas over in South America. And I felt like I was able to come to a place of like recognizing how my lack of self-love is why I brought that in the first place. My lack of integrity was why I just couldn't say no to her in the first place and draw a line in the sand. Just, oh, I think the softest thing that I've had to give myself is just recognizing that I just was so desperate for love and I couldn't say no. I couldn't say no, even though it was such a fucked up form of it. It was the only form that I had, and I didn't know how to get out of it at that time.
I appreciate you sharing it. It's not easy to share, but there's someone that'll be benefiting from hearing it, whether it's one person, whether it's a few, whether someone hasn't gone through the same thing, but it'll teach people to not. And that's where I feel like the power in sharing your journey is. We've made these mistakes, and we're in the men's work to help people from our experience so they don't have to go through the stuff we did to get there. We can help. Obviously, you need to learn from your own experience, but if we can kind of guide some people away from making some mistakes we did, that's where all the power is. So yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope so, man. When I'm in it, it feels like I'm drowning.
Yeah.
Know what you're saying. I agree with you saying. I've seen it happen. It's something that
Yeah.
whenever I go into it myself, I'm like, holy cow, which way's up?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Have you done, obviously you have done a lot of work, but does it feel like that feeling of shame and guilt still come up a lot then? Like, how do you work on that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's still, it's not as heavy as what it was. There's no
Mm,
chance I could just relay it like I have now, right? In years past. This was like, yeah, over 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago now. And the men's work is definitely like, let me just really be fucking transparent right now. Like, I've done every plant that is available to do over there. But coming
mm.
home and doing men's work and being surrounded by men to hold me in that and to give me the space to say, I did this, I fucked up, this is what I'm feeling. That's definitely been the most transformative shit.
Fuck yeah.
100%. Because there's just such a hectic energy about being witnessed in shame by men. And
And
it's,
not being judged.
yeah, definitely. It's like I'm being held accountable for my actions. And that is one of the most potent medicines there because I can't, how do I put this? I can't hide from it. Shame is something that when I hide from it, it gets heavier, it gets darker, it gets dirtier. But as soon as I'm seen in it, at least I am being seen.
Mm.
At the very least, I'm being seen. It doesn't change what happened, but at least I don't have to pretend like I'm not carrying some giant, fucking disgusting, slimy, smelly, dead body behind me, if that makes sense. Which is how
Yeah, 100%.
when I'm pretending like that didn't happen, or if I'm pretending like I haven't fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great. That's the whole basis of why I created Men Over Matter. We all carry shit. We need to find a space, a community where you can share it, you can let it go. And being held by other people, other men that aren't judgmental. We're all going through shit too, and that's where we have that container where you can all let it all out, and we all share healing. Yeah, it's powerful stuff. So you left America or South America, come back to Australia. Was it a smooth transition back, or was it hard coming back to home?
Nah, it was fucked up, bro. It was
Yeah,
the worst. It was actually the worst.
why is that?
It was just like, uh, I just, I just couldn't move. Like everything just felt so clunky. Like I was going to the gym and I was going to yoga and I was, doing these things to help me move. Internally, I was just so stuck and so rigid. And I was catching up with like my mates that I'd been mates with for 20 years. And I was just kind of ricocheting between my old mates and my job and the couch. I just couldn't get off the fucking couch.
Mm.
Everything was just so shit. Yeah, it took a long time. Like I got back in August 2023. Um, over 2 years from now. And or 2 years ago, sorry. And it's been a very steady journey to actually get to feel like myself again. It was really weird because the answer wasn't to just go traveling again because I was running away from something. The answer was to come home and stop running away from the thing that was weighing on me. And how that journey ended up looking has been the journey that's gotten me into men's work. And yeah, has taken a long time, a really long time.
So have you spoken with that person since at all? Or like, yeah,
Yeah.
do you feel like way lighter after that? Or
It was not so much that I felt lighter. It was more about just coming to terms with everything. I hadn't seen the dude in like 4 years at that point, 3.5, 4 years at that point. And didn't really know like what was still between us. And he was able to express his entire experience to me. And I just kind of had to sit there and hear the effect of my actions. And that, I don't think it wasn't clearing for me. I think it was clearing for him, but it was more of like, I just have to accept this and come to terms with it. So it was like, yeah, it was really fucking heavy, but it was also like, I was able to see it for what it was rather than constantly thinking about what it was.
Yeah.
And then once I had like seen that and been like, okay, accept that, then I've been able to move forward.
Yeah.
But I had to cop that. I had to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's similar to the thoughts of what could happen at SO, and then it actually happens. Like once you had it, it's like, all right, cool. I don't need to make up the story in my head anymore. I've had it. That's what it is. Now I can accept it and move on. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that led you to men's work. So what was your first experience into men's work in Australia?
Well, my first experience with men's work in Australia was actually with this guy because he was in the men's work space as well. He is in the men's work space as well. Yeah. So that was way back in like 2019. That was when I sat in my first circle. And yeah, pretty fucked up to look back at it because it was such a, like I don't even know what the adjective is to describe that experience, knowing what it was that I was holding on to and then stepping into that space. I reckon I probably definitely completely just shat on all the agreements that a men's circle is, right? Which is honesty and confidentiality and right integrity and to be better men. And then here I was doing this fucking thing and being in that circle. So that was a knife in the gut in itself. But to come back and yeah, to recognize like what it was that I needed at that point. And I found just a friend of mine, actually, she sent me like this event that was happening on in Melbourne and it was called Sacred Rage. And it was by this dude, Jacob O'Neill from Gold Coast. It was quite interesting, really. Like no matter how much I was struggling at that time, I saw the thing. I was like, nah, I'm not angry. I don't have anything to, what do you mean? I'm okay. I was like, in the garage, like lifting weights and beating the shit out of a boxing bag and doing circuit training. And I was completely fucking retarded, but I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not angry. Thankfully, I sat with it for like a day and then thought, yeah, no, I'm fucked. Like I need to go and do this. And the Sacred Rage process is, have you heard of the Sacred Rage process that these guys? Yeah.
Not the process, but I've heard of the name, like Sacred Rage. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jacob O'Neill.
Yeah. So it was like a full day workshop where we go through like different frameworks of like trauma, like big trauma that like an event that happens that shouldn't have happened, or like little trauma that we usually pick up through like life and especially childhood where we're super impressionable, where we didn't receive the love that we needed to receive. But yeah, and now we've got pain and now we've got anger to cover up that pain. And it becomes a thing that we get triggered and we take it out on our loved ones usually. So we were going through the frameworks of that, as well as the frameworks of like the initiation cycle and the nervous system and our natural responses to trauma. So fight, flight, fix, and freeze. And like, it was all this kind of heady stuff, right? Just to get the intellectual mind just satisfied. And then we went into the fuck you letter where we say, dear such and such, fuck you. And then we just let the pen fly and we just write. And then we actually go into a process where the facilitator takes on the persona of the person that we wrote our fuck you letter to. And we get held by like fucking 10 guys, right? And the person who's taking on the identity, the person we're saying fuck you to, they just kind of step in closer. And it gives us the chance to, whatever's stuck inside of us, it gives us the chance to fully go there and fully express ourselves and get through all of the rage that we're carrying. And that's why we need 10 guys to hold us back. Because as every guy who's watching this will fucking know, if we were to really go into that rage process, there's nothing that's going to stop us. We need 10 guys to hold us back so that we can have the safety and the security to feel all of it, express all of it, and completely burn it to hell. And get to
in my head, I was like, fucking good luck.
Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. So, dude, that process for me, it took me 2 seconds to completely go into what it was that I was carrying. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible to scream and to swear and to go there. It's liberation, really, because it was something that I was carrying for so long. And there's only so much that I could talk about it. Like, I did therapy, right? Like, I went to a psych. I was talking about it with people overseas. But there was just a point where talking wasn't the same as feeling. I needed to feel it and I needed to express it. And if there's something that men's work has taught me, it's that if I don't express, then I repress. And if I repress it, it's going to come out in a really ugly way. And I just carry it in my body. My body gets sore and it gets sick and it gets tired and I just get exhausted. So that was pivotal.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to Charles Missy's shadow work event a couple months ago, and it was like a very similar process. But for me, I don't know, like, I'm pretty chill. I was just watching this guy like go in at Charles, and there was this nun, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm not a very visual person. I'm like, I don't know how this guy sees his nun, but he was like, yeah, 4 people were holding him. I think it was like, yeah, a couple times the people literally had to hold someone back, and then it just like come out. This dude was like shaking. He was like talking about his dad and his dad's alcoholism. And yeah, like he was like having a little fit as well. Like he was literally processing trauma and like emotions like moving in his body. He like was twitching. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very similar. There you go.
No, I was just going to say that's what we carry. That's what so many men carry. It's this stuff that's stuck inside that we just don't have the structure to feel it. And because it gets judged so harshly from other people who just don't get it, we hold it and we hold it in even more.
Yeah. Like that was, I had this, like, one of the most pivotal moments for me, bits like imprinted on my brain in like my spiritual journey or whatever, was breath work. Wasn't from my own experience, but from like one of the first times I went down to the community, what they had like a Wim Hof style breath work, just conscious connected. And then afterwards, like in a gratitude circle, it was me and my mate who had like just like it was our first time there, I reckon. And like a bunch of women, and they were all in tears, all crying. And I was like, what the hell? We just like laid down and we're breathing. Like, how does it bring up that much? But to see like activating something in you can bring up so much, similar to, yeah, you know, just yelling, screaming, feeling it, getting through it. I was like, all right, like there's something to this. This is actually powerful. And that's what we like learn it, do the training, all that sort of thing. I was like, all right, this can really help people. And that's why we do it at all our Men Over Matter retreats. We do a journey because most guys bottle it up, freeze it, hold it in, you know, and then they're stuck and then they need to let it all out.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you were doing this kind of stuff with Men Over Matter. I thought you were doing like hikes and like sharing circles, but I didn't realize that you were doing so many actual processes to get the release.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all, elements of stuff that, me and the other guys have had on our, experiences has helped, and want to bring, the whole basis behind it was it like my life is better for doing the work. How can I get more guys involved? Because guys just drink, gamble, and do drugs
Yeah.
from my, that I play footy with and that sort of thing. It's like, well, this has done a lot for me. I know that people have seen the change in my life. How can I bring more men with me? Because all these communities are full of women. How can I get more guys? Let's do some man shit like hiking. And then the other stuff is the real main part of it, but the hiking or like something active, something physical is what will probably get men there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I can totally see that. Because getting a guy to get in circle and to do this kind of stuff is like pulling blood out of stones, I reckon.
Yeah, literally. Like we had a Zoom call last month. So we just started doing this recently. Just the last Sunday of every month, like a check-in, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One guy outside the facilitator group, because there's so much resistance to the call last night as well. All you're doing is pulling up, having a chat, and like we spoke about last night, just on the messenger, about how it can be daunting and clunky at the start because it's like, all right, we could be about to get into some serious shit here. Like that's scary. So you need to have some sort of physical element to go, no, I'm just going for a walk. And then like whatever comes up, comes up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But I don't know. Why do you think it is so hard for men to be able to express when women, they just fucking go straight away?
It's a good question. I think for the longest time, women have had to do it. And I also think that just the type of energetic that feminine energy is just allows for flow. Whereas the type of masculine energy is about doing things and being quite an outward directive force. So for a guy, it's just kind of in our nature to go out and work or create something or build something or lift something. But to actually take care of an internal environment, it takes quite a bit. I also think there's a lot of like social stigmas going on that are still very much in play about how men don't feel, men don't cry, men don't talk. And the only way that a man will actually go inside is when he has no choice. He has nothing on the outside that he can possibly distract himself with. Like, I know that that was definitely the case for me. There was nothing outside of myself that I could turn to anymore to help me come to terms with what was going on inside. I had no choice. And the EMI guys, Jacob and his business partner, Ryan, they've got a framework called the initiation cycle where they call it the feather, the brick, or the bust. And the first thing that happens is a guy will get tickled by a feather and the feather will say, hey man, you got to do this. And usually the guy's like just kind of brushes off the feather and he goes, gets another beer or he goes for a run. And then a brick comes flying through the window and there's a sign on the brick that says, fix your shit. And the guy's like, yeah, that's kind of random. I'm just going to put this brick over there and then fix the window, and bricks are coming flying through every window. And eventually the bus comes and the bus comes through and takes everything out, or the bus parks out the front and everything that man loves gets on the bus and fucks off and never comes back. And that's just the way that it works. Like, a guy will ignore and he will do everything and he'll focus on his business. He'll focus on his like relationship, or he'll focus on anything that's outside of himself that gives him a sense of like a validation, right? Anything that's outside, until that's not there anymore. And he's like, oh shit, I'm the thing I have to work on now. It's just the best thing ever, I think.
I reckon another key word is control. You can control your workplace, you can control the physical things. But then when you're searching inside and you don't know what's going to come up, it's very vulnerable and you can't control it most of the time anyway. When you're like doing a breathwork journey and you watch, like you've seen it online, you're very scared to do it because you don't know if you can control what emotions are going to come up. So most people stay away. And there's so much power in vulnerability and just letting go of control. That's where all the growth is. But I think that's a big thing for men. The other thing for men is we're fixers. So it's very hard to sit in a group of men knowing that you've got these problems to let out and you're the one that's usually fixing the problem. So you're playing the opposite role. You're putting yourself in a feminine state And also, you don't want, a lot of the time, men just need to be heard. We're not asking for solutions. But if you're going to a man to tell them the problem, you're like, fuck, they're just going to try and fix me. They're just going to listen to respond rather than hear you. And so you might leave one of those situations not even feeling heard. You've gone, hey, I'm struggling, blah, 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 and oh, just do this. Oh, just like go to this place or go to see this guy. It's like, fuck, man, I just wanted you to hear me. That's all it was. So that might put a man off doing the work after that as well. Because like, well, I just went to go and ask my mate some help, or like wanted to go tell my mate how I'm feeling, and he's fucking gone, told me to see this person. This is what's wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck,
Yeah.
what did I tell them for?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's like, not, yeah, absolutely, man. There's something that I want to say, but I don't have the words to say it. I
See what
think,
comes out.
yeah. So like, if like I've had that experience, right? Well, I'll tell someone like what I'm feeling, and they'll try and fix it, and it gets really frustrating because I'm like, I don't need fixing because there's nothing wrong. I just want to be accepted for what's going on, and I feel like the people that try and fix me are usually the ones that they actually struggle seeing me in pain. They can't just sit there and remove that fixed fawn response from them. They can't just witness me in pain. So they try and like deflect it or put the blame somewhere else or try and do that. And I'm like, no, it doesn't feel complete. And then I don't feel like I can talk to that person. I also think
Yeah.
sometimes as well, I think this is what that stops a lot of guys from getting in circle is I think they're really just afraid of sitting in that. I think when you say like there's so much power and vulnerability, I think the power is because we're choosing to be vulnerable and we're choosing to actually admit what's going on. And to be in that state of uncomfortability is really difficult for a lot of guys because it's like they're drowning. Sometimes it's like I'm drowning. Like I mentioned before, I step into my shit, I talk about what's going on, and I can't even figure out which way's up. I think that scares a lot of people, and it is a scary place. I think that definitely has to be recognized.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's awesome that you mentioned that. It's powerful to be able to step into vulnerability because it's an area you don't control, but that's where the power is
Yeah.
like earned and grown, because the further you step into the shadow, the more you illuminate. And then you're going to have control over those emotions. It's like, I look at every sort of like emotion or mental struggle you have. It's just like a muscle in the gym. The more work you do on it, the stronger it gets.
Yeah.
The more control you have over it. Like, oh, I really struggle with anxiety. I can't go and I hate picking up the phone. I can only text. It's like, well, if you keep avoiding phone calls, it's only going to get worse. So the more times you pick up the phone and you go, oh, this person just wants to chat, or this is a salesperson, fuck off. If you keep avoiding the phone calls, you're never going to be able to take one. And the one you might be missing some very important ones. But the more times you lean into something uncomfortable,
Yeah.
the stronger you're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Bang on. I love it. That's like traditional. That's like the healthy form of masculinity where it's like, okay, cool. I don't want to get out of bed, but I'm going to do it. I don't want to go to work, but I'm going to do it. I don't have this conversation, but I'm going to do it. It's like just removing the feeling and just doing the thing that needs to be done. This is one of the things that just has to be done.
Yeah. And it's not like you're running yourself into the ground and forcing you to do something that's out of alignment. It's like, I know this is good for me. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to run from it. It's the same as getting up, going to the gym, progressive overload. You're like, this is hard, but it'll make me better. So I should do it. And you just do it. Yeah. Remove the emotion and go, yeah, it is hard. It's like, but I should do it.
Absolutely.
Forget that first sentence. Yeah. There was something else I wanted to add, but I forgot. That's cool.
Circle back.
Yeah. If it pops back into my head, it pops back into my head. But yeah, I just feel like it's so important for men to actually get out there and try this stuff. You don't have to do a breathwork journey where you break down in tears and crying. It could be just having an honest chat with your mate. Oh, that's what it was. About being heard, seen, witnessed, all that sort of thing. I feel like from my experience, the person who's holding the space they don't have the tools to hold the space. So automatically they go to divert the conversation, to deflect, or they'll just try and fix. And the fix, like instead of just hearing someone, you can just say, hey, do you want advice from me right now, or do you just want me to hear you? Cool. And then that gives them the power back to the person in a vulnerable state as well, to make them feel more comfortable to talk, take advice, whatever. The other part is, if you don't know what to say, that's fine. You're allowed to go, oh, like, what do you need from me right now? And just hear them instead of going, oh, like, fuck, we'll just go have a beer and catch up. You don't have to have the beer and get drunk to put yourself in an unconscious state to be able to have a conversation with someone. They want you to hear them. You don't need to be pissed to do it. They don't need to be pissed to do it. They're ready to talk. Let them speak authentically. It's always like, oh, we should just go and do this, go for a run, go to the gym. It's like, all right, like, just have the chat. You don't need to go anywhere to do it. You don't need to put something in between you guys to then, it's all it is that person who's holding the space also feels unsafe in themselves because they probably haven't looked at their shit yet. And that's why when someone else is bringing up, like when you were saying, they were just trying to push it away because they don't want to see you feel pain, because they're getting the mirror of them feeling pain and going, that would be so uncomfortable for me. It must be for them too. Let's just avoid it. That's what come up in my head.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, wish I could give credit to the person that I saw. It's just a video online. He put it really eloquently where guys need the third thing to be able to have a conversation. You, me, a party, you, me, a festival, you, me, whatever it is you, me, and the third thing. But what happens when we remove the third thing and just have the conversation and just see what's there and see what comes up? I think it's really special when a guy, or anyone really, is able to just get rid of that third thing and just be like, okay, what's here? What's now? Can we pick up on it, and can we bring it up and see what it is and clear it?
Yeah, well, that's what a men's shit is. They're just tinkering with their hands and like talking, and that way they're getting in a flow, and the flow of the conversation, because I guess for males are like 40 plus, I guess. So they're really conditioned. So they need the third thing. What we're trying to do, I feel, bring in the work for the next generation men so we don't need the third thing. And that's why at the hike, it's the same thing. You get on the hike, you walk and talk, and you're not looking at each other right in the eyes. It's not intimidating. You're just chatting, getting to know each other, talking about your experience. And then at the end of the hike, you'll get the chance to then sit with them, and it's people you've connected with, you feel safe with, comfortable with, you can have the chat without the third thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think slowly, like really trying. That's why I'm so keen to have this conversation with you, to create spaces that men feel safe to have conversations without the third thing. Like hopefully this sparks something in someone that they can reach out to a mate and go, hey, you want to catch up and just chat? Or like, what are you doing tonight? Or what are you doing Sunday? And if it is, you do need to have a meal or something, I just would encourage people to not have to get unconscious. Don't do it doing drugs. Don't do it doing drinking, because you're not going to remember it. It's not the same. It just feels, it's not truly vulnerable and authentic if you have to get out of your mind and out of your body to be able to do it, I feel.
I agree.
Yeah. Because that's where I've had so many DNMs at the end of a night, late at a night, at a party, but then you barely ever talk about it again. Maybe you don't remember, or because you go, like, you're in a different state, an altered state, and then you go back to your normal state and you go, oh, that's uncomfortable to bring that up again. I'm just not going to do it. But if you've done it with someone sober, open setting, I know that this person's safe to tell them because I told them. They're not going to judge me. I was clear in my head what I was saying. It's safe. And you actually finish that conversation, versus how many guys, for me all the time, like, I have the same fucking conversation with the same people when they're on the piss. Like, we'll be out somewhere and they're drinking. I'm like, man, you tell me this every time, but you don't take the action because you wait till you're drunk to have the conversation. And then the conversation, we repeat the same thing the next time when you're drunk and we're together. Yeah. I don't know if you've had the same.
I have. Bro, I have. I was laughing when you were like that because I can just clearly picture it where I'm like, the only time I'm hanging out with a particular group of people is when there is alcohol or something involved. And it's like, as soon as that thing is gone, it's like, okay, cool. What's here? There's nothing here. So then I feel lost and I feel empty because I'm like, okay, cool. Was this actually a connection? Did I actually have a friend at this spot? Or is this real? Or is this not?
Yeah. I think through going sober, you realize so much about who your actual friends were.
Yeah.
Because are we actually mates, or are we people that just get drunk and party together? Because how many of your friends do you actually hang out with one-on-one or even in a group sober? Like, are you a group of friends if all you do is hang out and do drugs and drink? Like, can you actually enjoy each other's company sober? If not, then like, are you really friends? You might be like mates, acquaintances at best, teammates. If you don't feel comfortable hanging out with them sober, how could you call them a good friend?
How many
Yeah.
friends do you think you can really, really hold at one time? Are you someone that can have like 30, 50 friends? Or do you have like a group of 5?
I'm pretty social. Like that's part of my work is being able to spend time alone and by myself. Like I like being out all the time. Like, you know, I'm at footy 3 days a week. I'm with 40 blokes 3 days a week, and I'm happy to chat for everyone. I've got a pretty big social battery and capacity, I feel. And, you know, like my DMs, I'm always chatting to people, whether I've met them a few times. Like I'm still in contact with someone I met in like 2017 in Venice. And but that's because we've got an authentic connection, me and this dude. We're sharing a similar path just on the other side of the world, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think I've got a pretty big battery, and maybe that's also part of the people pleaser in me is I've always got time for people, but it is rare to have like deep chats with men. With women, actually, I have quite a few. Like I haven't responded to her because we're having this conversation, but I woke up to like a 5-minute voice note, and I had one from another girl last night and another one like the day before. So women are better for those sort of stuff at the moment. But yeah, I'm rambling, but yeah, I can have a few, I feel.
Yeah. I like with myself, like I'm playing with this idea. Like I love circles. I love the technology of the actual circle. And I feel like my inner circle, I can only have like a handful of people there. And those are the people that like I don't need anything to fully drop into myself. I can fully be myself at any point in the time. And that's my inner circle. My outer circle is where I start to get into more of what I now call skillful relationships, where I don't necessarily, I couldn't spend a shitload amount of time with them, but there is a purpose and a reason for why we circle up. And this is where like my bros come into it. This is where like our online men's circles come into it. This is where like my connection with you kind of comes into it. It's like, okay, there's you, there's me. There is a third thing. There is a purpose here. There is a meaning here. We have a mission. And I love the idea of just circles that come out and come out and come out. It doesn't mean that I have to bring them. I don't have to have one in a circle with 150 people, but there are certain people that have a place in my life, maybe close, maybe further apart. And that's how I maintain my energy and my social battery, because I love my social battery. But I do notice that if I try and put someone where they don't belong, or try and put myself somewhere I don't belong, I get really zapped really quick. I get mute. I stop talking. I shut down. I stop. That's where my people pleaser comes in. I don't like, it's really hard to disagree with people sometimes. Like they'll be so identified with their opinion, and I'll be sitting there and I'm watching my response to it. I'm like, okay, I don't agree with this, but I find it too difficult to speak up against that, because it's like either I don't have the skills to say, excuse me, respectfully, I don't agree with what you're saying, or I just feel like it's going to pop off and create like conflict.
Mm,
I don't want to have to deal with
yeah.
conflict.
You've articulated all of that really well. I definitely agree. Like I've got, like I said, big social battery, but there's definitely a smaller few that I have the real conversations with and could spend like a day with, and you know, it would fly. But yeah, putting myself in a space that's out of alignment, I can do it. That's fine and socialize. But yeah, I'll find myself being more of an observer than a contributor to conversations. And it's a lot, and I'm the same. I'm not into conflict. I'd rather just watch it. Someone saying some shit that I like don't agree with. I'm like, yeah. Instead of going, yeah, you're wrong. I'm like, yeah, I just won't feed the conversation. I'll just find a way to go. I just like pretty, yeah, okay. Next. Like, unless it's like something that I'm passionate about and they're wrong and I'm like, let's debate on this. And it's like, I'm ready to stir some shit up. But most of the time, like the COVID stuff, depending on the mood I'm in, I'm ready to go put the tinfoil hat on and fucking go to town. Or I'm just like, you're not worth my time. Let's just fucking, yeah, divert the conversation elsewhere.
Yeah, that COVID conversation was really hectic at the start. I feel like everyone just kind of like, okay, no one's agreeing. Let's just not go here whatsoever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely had to learn a lot at that point as well.
dude. Cause that was my like, moment. But I was like shoving it down people's throats. It was so passionate about it. I was like, you need to wake up, like, and it caused lots of arguments. And because in my mind, I'm so right every time. Like, I'm like, you just need to wake up, you need to see this. But they can only see from the lens that they can understand, that they can see. So of course, in their mind, they're right too. So you're never going to have an agreement. And you can't force someone to wake up. It's in their own time. You can't force someone to change their opinion. You can just lead with, like lead by example, I guess. And that's where I started to get more involved in like leadership in just like community, men's spaces, whatever, or like get more respect from people, is when they saw the change rather than me telling people to change, they saw me do it. And I led with integrity. And then the people are like, oh, what are you doing? Like, what's this breathwork stuff? What's going on here? I'm like, oh, now you want to fucking listen. I'm like, oh, no shit. Because I'm not telling them, I'm showing.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. I still get, like even telling you at the start, yeah, I went and traveled for 3 years during COVID. I'm like, I just don't know how that's going to land for people. Like I had agreements with friends and family while I was doing it. And then I'd find that I'm like trying to justify it and trying to say, oh, I wasn't like, I wasn't clubbing or anything like that. Like it was in the middle of the mountains with 10 other people, and start like hiding and trying to protect myself. But something that I'm still learning is how to agree to disagree with someone, and how to like something that I really appreciate about some of the guys in my circles is just the ability to be honest with someone. And some of the guys have really called me out on some of my patterns and some of my habits, and like it hurts. It really fucking hurts. And I want to like disagree with them. I want to like to justify why I am where I'm at rather than just accept it. And it's difficult to accept, and that's why it hurts. But it's also one of the gifts of the masculine, I find, is to be straight, to be direct, to be honest, not to be brutal with that honesty, but to be gentle, or to try and be as gentle as you can with something that can cut quite deep, like honesty. But I think it all comes back to this healthy masculine culture that we're trying to build. Like we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You might claim perfection.
Fuck no.
But I didn't think so. I don't, you don't, we don't, we're not, but we are showing up as we are and willing to take the hits to at least make the effort to be better, because I think that there definitely is room. This is like stating the obvious, but there's totally room in today's culture and society for healthy masculine men to really step in and step up. That's why we do it.
That's it. There's definitely room. I'm the same. I'm getting better with handling criticism, but being called out. I wouldn't say it's criticism, as people just going out like, you could have done this better, or hey, like this is some bullshit, whatever. And I'm the same. I'm the person with all the excuses in the world. And I know that. Like, I'll make them for myself and then tell myself it's bullshit. But until someone else calls you out on it, like, that's when you're forced to act. It's like, oh, I know I can like let myself down and not show up for myself.
Yeah.
But like, for me, there's so much more importance on showing up for other people. If they're going, hey, you need to change that. I'm like, oh, fuck, they're seeing it. Like, I need to do something about it. That's why I created like a container, just an accountability container. Because if I say to myself, I'm going to read 10 pages a night of a book and I don't do it, what have I lost? Like, in my own personal integrity, that's part of it. But there's no, I don't know, there's nothing like holding me to that apart from me. So I find the support of a group and keeping you accountable helps so much. So now there's only 3 of us left in there because my point was like, do you see accountability? If you don't show up, you're out. But we do it. We're checking in. We're seeing how each other are going. Like, what are you doing? And I know that like at the end of the night, I'm like, all right, like I've got to get this done because if I don't, I'm not only not showing up for myself, but everyone else is going to know. And then like that also weighs on my integrity as a man because I've put myself out there. I've put myself in the arena, and if everyone else is seeing me not showing up, then like I've lost my integrity to the public, to other men. So I'm like, all right, I've got to fucking show up. I said I'm going to do it. But one of my biggest values is integrity. Like, I'm a man of my word. If I say I've got something on at 3 a.m., I'm fucking getting up and doing it. I don't care how much sleep I've got. I said it, I'm doing it. I said I'm going to read 10 pages, I'm going to do it. I said I'm not nutting this month, I'm not doing it as much as I want. You know what I mean? It's like, we're fucking doing it. I said it, let's show up. And that's the part of being the masculine, healthy masculine, I think, for me.
100%. I agree. While you were saying that, I was just thinking about the things that I really need to take accountability for and to start to own that. Yeah, like even going into this call with you, like I've got, my sisters online with me. They'll probably see this. Like my niece is on Instagram. So I'm like in this place where I have influence, right? Especially on like the young ones that might look up and be like, Cam's going to a festival, Cam's indulging the things that happen in a festival. And I'm like, okay, cool. I really need to step the fuck up. I can't keep doing the things that I was doing when I was in my younger middle 20s doing stupid shit. I need to grow the fuck up and actually stand for something. I need to actually stand for something that's worth standing for. I can't let that slide anymore. I can't let those habits slide anymore. It's not good.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sorry for jumping in. I'm super passionate about it. I love that because the people are watching. You're the man in the arena now. Like, if you're talking about people's healing, growth, development, you need to be embodying it. I need to be embodying it. We need to be embodying it. And that's what helped me stop drinking. Like, I was coaching junior footy, 2020. We had a cocktail night at footy club. Junior footy plays on Sunday. So I got blind and then I had to coach the next day. And I was like, I can't do this. I got to show up for these kids. I got to be the man, the leader, the example. I can't do it hungover. And my footy went through the roof, not drinking as well, but didn't drink the whole season, showed up sober for them every Sunday. These are 14-year-old kids. They're about to start doing that sort of stuff. If the one person they can look up to isn't doing that, then maybe they can take that on board and go, oh, I don't need to be drinking to have fun with mates to play footy to get through a weekend. And, they're 16 now. They are starting to do that, but they know they can come to me without for anything, without judgment. And that's why I can also feel comfortable talking about this stuff on a podcast, is because I know that that's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do it anymore. So I can speak from a place of, people can judge me for my past, but I'm living in truth now. And like those things that I've learned from, rather than they're things that I'm still doing, because then it also gives people a ticket out. Like, oh, well, he's doing all this stuff and he still goes back and does that. So, well, then I can do it too. Like, if he's doing it. But now it's like, oh, he goes to festivals, he does all this stuff. But one, I've learned from it. And two, I can do it sober. It gives other people permission to try it sober as well, I feel.
Yeah. 100%, man. But even me listening to you say about this, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I love tequila, but now I'm like, okay, there's a standard here. There's another standard here. And because you're standing up for that standard, it gives me the idea of like, okay, I can actually play this game at a higher level. I don't have to, like, the way I was doing it before, I thought it was good and I justified it, but I don't have to. There's always another level here. There's another step that I can take. There's always growth available here, as long as someone is able to see it and stand for it.
Fuck yeah. That's the importance of getting out in the community and meeting other guys as well, because I'm the same. Like, I'm constantly inspired by the men I'm around. Like, there's always growth. There's always more that you can do. There's always, an extra percent you can get better. And that's why I love having these conversations, because it does, like, parts inspire you. Maybe it's like one sentence someone says like, fuck, I'm going to take that. I'm going to add that. I'm going to run with it. And, hopefully I know there's people watching, listening, that are going to get value from the things we're talking about and go, all right, that part landed with me. I'm going to take that. Whether that's the conversation, the drinking, whether it's trying something sober, whether it's going to South America, whether it's
Oh yeah,
having an uncomfortable conversation with someone that's not a friend, that's you've got some stuff with you, like, all right, I need to like get this out of there. It's weighing down on me, whether that's with your mom, your dad, your partner, whether that's doing what, she should have done and owned her truth as well. You know, you can like, if you're a person that's involved in a predicament like that and you now are witnessing the pain that was endured by 3 people because of not owning up, maybe you can save someone the pain.
yeah. Someone could have saved that pain.
Mm.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, pain, resentment. But do you find yourself grateful for the punch in the face because it led you to change?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
told him the next time that I saw him, I said, "Bro, thanks for the punch." And that was, yeah, that wasn't exactly a comfortable conversation for either of us. But it's definitely something that I look back on. And I think if I didn't, because it wasn't even the punch that hurt. The punch, like, I fell back, there was blood, I was cut open, but it wasn't the physicality of the punch that hurt, it was him. I could feel his pain. I could feel his turmoil. I could feel the thunder that was in his soul at that point, and that's what came through. It was like I was being punched by a pillow. It was clarity.
Mm.
It was like, fuck, this is what he was feeling. Because
Mm.
when I was in my thing, I was only focusing on my thing. But when I received what he was feeling, I was like, fuck, okay, all right. And that has never left. It doesn't leave. It's like it's a part of me now. I can feel that, and that will always stay with me. And because of that, when things get tough, that comes through. And I go, okay, like if I don't want to go to circle, I go, okay, this is why I do circle. If I don't want to go overseas and partake in some of the spiritual traditions that I partake in over there, I go, well, this is why this shit is important. This is why doing the hard stuff is important. This is why setting a new standard is important. This is why becoming a better man is important. And if I didn't have that, I don't even want to think about who I would be in this point. I don't want to consider that possibility.
Yeah. I think the word that comes up for me with that is purpose. Yeah, that gives you purpose. Like, all right, because what is a man without a purpose? Lost. Yeah.
Definitely.
Like for me, trying to figure out it's hard to think of a word or a task or something that is my purpose. But like I mentioned to you last night, I would love to do this as a career, a form of income, is to just have conversations with this. I think a skill of mine is not necessarily the conversations or speaking, but networking and bringing people to light or bringing people together. Knowing you and giving you the platform, just people to come to you, the audience, to hear the things you have to say to have value, or they're bringing other people on that I have had messages from people going, oh, that I got a lot out of that one, or getting screenshots of messages from people that have been on that they've had people reach out to them and say they found value. I think that's where my strength is. I don't know what the right word for purpose is, but I think it's just providing value for people and just helping people on their growth, in their growth.
I mean, I think purpose is,
But I've lost your sound. Try again.
nah.
Yeah.
Cool dip.
I lost it again. No sound. Nah. What's going on there? Yep. Try now. I can hear your phone or like rustling.
Upload set. Upload 99%. Capture.
Got ya.
Hey, oppa.
No.
Here we go. What happened?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Purpose. Okay, can I say something? Nature makes no mistakes. Everything that grows in nature has a purpose. Everything that's in nature does something. Even like the trees and the plants and the herbs and the shrubs and the ground covers and the climbers and the canopies. There are mushrooms that come through. They kill a tree so that sunlight can get through and create a meadow so that animals can come through. Nature makes no mistakes. And I think that every man has a purpose. Every female has a purpose. Everyone has something to do, something to give, and has the right to receive. And so you're talking about bringing people together, dude. I think that's one of the strongest things that you can do. And like, I know for myself that, and what I can see, like hosting circles online and seeing the guys that are coming through, men are separated. Men are so separated from themselves and from each other that when I'm in circle, I feel strong. I feel fucking strong. I feel super strong. I'm like, I don't have to perform. I don't have to pretend. I can just be myself. Like when I jumped in the circle with you guys last night, I was space cadet. I was feeling pretty shitty. I was not feeling the best. But by the end of the call, I was like, bros, man, let's fucking go. Let's do this, right? Because when we're together, we're stronger. Otherwise, if we're not doing that, if we're not linking up and teaming up and creating a unit, we give our energy outside of ourselves, but we don't necessarily give energy to ourselves. And I think what you're doing is great. I think what this is doing is great. And I just I would love to make a career out of this as well. We're on that path. We're putting in the steps to do that. But even if I couldn't make $1 million doing this kind of stuff, even if I just came away being surrounded by a team, a unit, a strong core of men, which I haven't had before, I'd be happy. I'd be stoked. I'd be fucking thrilled. I could go and do my job as whatever it was, as long as I had that unit around me when I...
Dude, 100%. I think at the very least, like it's a privilege to even be able to have a conversation like this. You know, like I think that's something I feel like is missing is like deep conversations. So it's awesome to be able to pull up, have deep conversations with people and with different backgrounds and hear about their stories. Like at the very least, I say it every time, even if it accidentally wasn't recording, at the very least, we've had a great conversation. Like, and that's a win.
Was it not recording this whole time?
No, it is. But I was like, even if it wasn't.
Man, I was like, damn.
Don't worry. I'm glad I double checked as I said that though.
Hectic.
Like I said, technical difficulties has happened before. Phones die, cameras die. It happens. But yeah, always a good conversation. So never a loss.
Nah, never a loss.
So what else is new? What else is like in the works for you? So you've got the online circles. Are you doing anything, creating it?
Well, the circles and the communities is definitely the thing that I'm creating. But next year, I'll be going to Mexico again. It'll be either the last time that I go or I won't come back from Mexico. It was one of the things that was really coming up for me while I was at Strawberry on the weekend. It's like when I go to Mexico, I partake in a really potent Native American ceremony called the Sundance. The Sundance. Are you familiar with the Sundance? Nah. That's all right. The Sundance is 4 days of fasting. So no food, no water, and dancing around the tree and making prayer. As I said during the call, I was in Peru, I was in Ecuador, I was drinking jungle vines and eating cactus. And by the end of it, I got to, just so that everyone that's listening can be really across these things, these are not drugs. These are things that the native indigenous use as forms of medicine and connection with self and the universe and the cosmos, and to find healing within themselves. These things are not seen as something that you take. They are teachers that you sit in circle with, in commune with, to receive lessons of wisdom and healing and how to be a better human. That's what these things are for. That's why people go over to South America. That's why there's such hype around these things, because they are potent and they're strong. And I did all these things. But when I got to Mexico, I found the Sundance. And the Sundance, there is nothing that we take on top of it. The Sundance is just fasting. It's just you, your prayer, your blood, and how much you're willing to sacrifice for your prayer. The Sundance is done in honor of the 4 directions, north, east, south, and west. Each year is done in honor of a particular direction. I've now done 3. Next year will be my 4th. And once I've done my 4th, I will have completed the cycle. And from there, that will be a massive completion. Completion ultimately meaning new beginning. And what that new beginning is going to be for me, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. I come back to Australia and I double down here. I stay in Mexico and I grow. I grow there. I'm really not sure. But it's time to make a decision. I just don't know what that's going to be.
Epic. See what comes up.
See what comes up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Sounds like a cool experience. I'd love to do something like that. Like, I definitely want to travel more and see more, experience more, It's funny. I posted a story the other night about like people just constantly paying the coaches, doing the retreats, all the things like external.
Yep.
But I never actually do any of those things. And I would love to go and experience some of them, like a retreat outside of Australia or something like that. Like, I think it would just be cool to go and do. And yeah, like obviously it'd be grouse to get like an experience and healing and that sort of stuff out of it, but just like for the experience, just to go and try it. Like, instead of going on a holiday where you're binge drinking or whatever, just go and do that instead. Yeah, it would be cool for sure. I'd be excited to do something like that. I want to do it with a partner as well. I reckon that'd be the ultimate stretch for me, because I love yapping and I love being social. So to be forced inward would be brutal.
I don't think I'd have a problem with the Vipassana. I can go mute for 10 days. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'd be fucked. So that's why I feel like I should do it.
That's where the growth is for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. How can people reach you then if they want to hear more about you, or if they want to receive some myotherapy?
Yep.
Circle. How can they find you?
Yeah, cool. So Instagram is the best way to get in contact with me for all of those things. It's at Cameron J. Emett. And if anyone wants to get myotherapy with me, that's obviously not something that I can do online. But if anyone is down in the Mornington Peninsula, or is in Melbourne, that's something that I'd be able to do that pretty soon. Otherwise, if I end up traveling around Australia, then that could be definitely a thing too. But online circles, we do online circles every Tuesday. We've got 2. There's one at 12 p.m. Melbourne time and one at 6 p.m. at Melbourne time. Yeah.
What does one of those circles look like for anyone interested?
Yeah, those circles. Cool. So the first thing that we do in circles is we take the oath of confidentiality, so that nothing that is said in the circle leaves the circle. We recognize that we take accountability for experience, so it's not a belligerent, it's not a fuck this, fuck that, fuck the government. It's I feel this in this moment. This is what's going on for me. It's a honest communication. And it's a compassionate communication. We recognize that everyone is going through their own experience, and we can offer frameworks and we can offer questions to the person. But if the person doesn't want that and just wants to be seen and heard in their experience, totally fine, totally welcomed. Every man is welcome to our circle. Yeah, eventually we will get to a point where we'll be offering in-person retreats, where we'll be able to offer the initiatory experiences like what we were talking about with the sacred rage and the parts work and what you were sharing as well. We want to be able to go over Australia. We want to be able to go to different parts. We want to be able to go to masculine sites. We want to be able to go to Uluru. We want to be camping in some pretty incredible spots where we swim in the river and reconnect with nature and recognize that we are nature. We are not separate from it. We are men. We deserve to be here. We have a place here. We have a purpose here. We have a fucking voice here. And it's our mission to find that voice for every man that decides to circle up. Push.
What's stopping you from taking it around Australia now?
We are in the beginning stages. we're a baby circle. We've been going for like 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Me and Daz, who you met briefly last night, we've been doing facilitator training with EMI for the last 6 months. So we've been getting ourselves in the right place with the right tools to be able to facilitate these types of experiences and circles and experiences. And only now we are putting rubber to road and gaining momentum. So that's why we're doing 2 on the same day. We just want to get as many online circles under our belt as possible and to create a bit of a crew, a bit of a unit before we start to say, hey, here's this event. We're really going to go through the depths of our shame or our rage. We're going to have honesty circles. We're going to have combatives. We're going to find our primal fire. We're going to learn how to build the fire, recognize the fire, the inner child work, the shadow work, and bring in all the parts to it. Not so much I don't want to hang shit. I'm not going to hang shit. Nah, I'm not going to hang shit. We are just going to reconnect with all the aspects of ourselves that we need to and reconnect with the nature around us so that we can recognize the nature within us. Yeah.
Beautiful. Sounds epic. Well, is there anything else you want to leave with the people to let them ponder as this episode comes to a close?
Cool. Yeah, there is something that comes up just as you say this. So this can sometimes seem like really heavy and really like quite daunting, but something that we really aim to bring in is this well-rounded experience. So it's not all just like doom, gloom, rage, shame, rah. It's also playful. And that's something that I definitely have had to work on myself. We like to play, and that can look like experiencing the inner animal, the inner animal spirit, the inner animal guide. Sorry. And one question that I'm going to be asking every single fucking person is, what is your inner animal spirit? What comes through? And I really like asking this question because like not many people have considered that question. And what does that sound like? Do you have an inner animal spirit?
I've been asked a question before, and maybe it's my lack of imagination, but I was thinking of like just like a Rottweiler dog.
Nice.
So that's more because, if trained properly, they're like beautiful, just like, normal dog, loyal as, but they're like staunch on the outside. So that's why I feel like, looks can be deceiving. So most people think like covered in tattoos, goes to the gym, that sort of thing. People just like, old people will just think intimidating, you're involved in gang activity and violence and that sort of thing. But I'm just a little sweetheart on the inside. So there's that. What's yours?
Monkey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just so easy, man. I don't know. I tap into it. It's like my playful, like when I go monkey, I can just roll around and I can just jump over couches, and I'm a bit of a pest. I'm such a pest. But it's like my inner playfulness, and there's just, I don't know. It's something that's been there and I'm in contact with it, and I love bringing it out. If things get too heavy, I bring out the monkey and then I'm good.
If you were a food, what would you be?
I'd be a
You can go
guanabana.
as deep with it as you want.
I'd be a guanabana.
Yep.
You know this fruit?
No.
Yeah, you got to go to, I think I had it in Costa Rica. It's like this alien, it's green. It's got like these kind of, not spikes because they're not sharp, but it's got like these little tentacles that go off it. It's super soft. You can just like pull it apart with your hands and it just disintegrates. It's got this white flesh and like this black seed. You're really not supposed to eat the seed apparently. And it's amazing. Could just eat it all day. Can put it in smoothies with bananas. It's the best fruit I've ever had by far. Some people call it a soursop. I just hate the name.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a guanabana.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if it's the same. It might actually, I think it's the same. But I'd call it guanabana.
Yeah, nice. Love it.
What's your fruit?
Pineapple. No, but the other thing is like hard on the outside, sweet on the inside.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
But the hair matches as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Awesome. Well, good to leave it on a light and playful note. Thanks, Cam, for joining me, taking the time out of your morning. Looks like not a bad day outside. And to anyone listening, I hope you did need to hear this. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro. And thanks to everyone who's tuning in and sticking with us through that. Hope to see you online soon.